Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you see this. So yes, we are going to finish up this series of readings. So we're going to be doing Pisces and also Aries, since we started with Taurus and then we went through the normal pathway of the zodiac signs. So we can't forget Aries, of course. So we will be doing both of those today, and they're both going to be general readings, so they can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc., money, all the good stuff, and all that, and the bad, the good and the bad. So yes, so this is also a timeless reading. Both of them are. So depending on when you get this reading is meant for you. So as an example, it could resonate a couple of months in the past or a couple of months in the future, or even during the original time frame, right from about April 20th through about May 20th. So it always will be different for everybody, right? Since it's a general reading. But I wanted to welcome everyone here, right? Whether or not you are a Pisces sun sign, a rising Pisces, or have your moon in Pisces, or whatever placement you have in Pisces. We all have Pisces somewhere in our chart. So hopefully there'll be a message here for you. And yes, we're going to take a picture after each zodiac sign, and I'll be posting it later. I still have to do the one for Capricorn from yesterday, but I will do it. Don't worry if you guys caught the other one and somebody really wants the picture. But yeah, what else was I going to say? I think that was pretty much it. So let's do a little sound bell here and then go ahead and do some quick shuffle and get into the readings. If there's anything else that I forgot to say, we'll talk about it later. All right, so we can get the dog hair and the cat hair out of here. And just be aware it does get a little loud if you're sensitive to that. And you can, I'm sorry, just trying to fix, oh, well, that just made it worse. Okay, whatever. So yeah, if you're sensitive to sound, if you're listening with headphones, just be aware it does get a little bit loud, but it's just for a little bit. So it's to help ground us and you and me, all of you guys, and to help do some healing as well, to kind of center for the reading. All right, here we go. Okay. I think that was a good one. Hopefully it wasn't too loud for you guys. All right, so Pisces, here we come. Just gonna have a little bit of quiet music in the background for the dogs and all of that stuff. Not too loud. Okay. So if you see me before, we're going to be doing a little bit of a different layout for the readings. Even if, well, first of all, everyone is welcome, right? Whether you're new or coming back, I appreciate everyone's energy. And I also appreciate everyone's likes and your subscriptions. They're all free ways to help the channel. And so I think that in the first couple of hours of posting new videos, the more likes it gets, it shares with others. So not only does it tell me that you resonate with the message perhaps, but also it's just cool to share it with others. All right. Hopefully, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't share it with others if you didn't like it. But anyway, let's keep going here. So I've already meditated a little bit before I turned on the channel. And so I've welcomed in my spirit guides, guardians, ancestors, angels, all of those things. And so when I say, sometimes you might hear me when I'm shuffling the cards, I'll say spirits or spirit. That's, kind of who I'm referencing. So anyway, we'll start with the Oracle deck here. Just pick one out real quickly, and then we'll touch on it towards the end. All right. But it's going to be messages for water sign Pisces for April 20th through May 20th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? For their highest good. Messages for Pisces. Messages for Pisces. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest vibration? Let's mix it up here. My big fish pond is what I call it. Go fishing for Pisces. Okay. Messages for Pisces for their highest vibration for April 20th through May 20th, Pisces. Messages for Pisces for April 20th through May 20th. Oh my gosh. Keep getting the same cards that we have for a couple other signs. So it's not necessarily that Spirit doesn't want those, but I can show you guys right now. I always talk about the fanning powder to make sure that things aren't sticking, right? But here's the actual fanning powder, right? And so, yeah, you just kind of sprinkle it on all the cards. Just a little bit goes a long way. And then I will shuffle them and try again, just because I want to make sure when those cards come out multiple times that it's really, what Spirit wants. Okay, so, oh, there goes a big puff of smoke. Or not smoke, but the powder. Okay, yeah, it does get messy, but it's good mess, right? It's good mess. Okay, so let's just make sure we get them on all the cards. Powder. This kind of sticks to my table. I'm doing it like that. All right, but I did this last week for all the cards and these ones as well. But I just kind of want to make sure that when the cards come starting to repeat themselves a little bit, that they're not necessarily sticking. Okay, so let me, there's powder everywhere. And don't worry, Pisces, I won't start the timer until we get all your cards on the table. Okay, because I have been trying to do shorter readings, like 15 minutes once we start. Doesn't always happen, but we try. Okay. Fanning powder everywhere. I'm just going to flip them over for a second. And then flip them back over. Ta-da. Okay. And maybe even shuffle them by breaking them one time too. I'm going to have powder all over me. Okay. Pisces. Okay, let's try again. Messages. Come closer here. I feel like the chair. All right, whatever. Messages for water sign Pisces for April 20th through May 20th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? One card, please. One oracle card. One Pisces. All right. So I will keep it. It wasn't one of the last two readings, so I'll accept it. But I do think it was in one of the other zodiac signs for this time period. But if it's not the card sticking, it could be part of collective unconscious, right? The astrology. But again, it's not necessarily a bad thing. None of the oracle cards are really bad. They're more gentle than the tarot. Okay, so Pisces, April 20th through May 20th, Pisces. Pisces, April 20th through May 20th, Pisces. Twin fish, the twin fish, yes. Messages for water sign, Pisces for April 20th through May 20th. What do you need to see for their highest vibration? Messages for Pisces. Messages for Pisces. Da, 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 da. What does Pisces need to see? What does Pisces need to know? There for a second. Okay, and from this deck, we're going to take 4 cards and then the top and the bottom. Okay. Messages for Pisces. For water sign Pisces, what do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest vibration? April 20th through May 20th, Pisces. Messages for Pisces. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Messages for water sign Pisces, the twin fish. Messages for Pisces. April 20th through May 20th. Messages for Pisces. Okay. And then let me make sure they want this in the reverse position. Okay. All right, so they do want it reversed, so I'll put it back. So then we're going to take the top and the bottom. These, oh, actually, I'll put them over here. So they stay. Okay. And then we'll just put this up here for now. Okay. And then for this deck, we're just going to take 1 card and the top and the bottom. Since we're, doing those shorter readings. Let me know, guys, down in the comments if you want. I've temporarily been not having chat for a while just because of trolls and stuff, but I do want to be able to turn that back on soon because, trolls come regardless. But yeah, so let me know if you guys like this setup, like basically for the first 4 cards, that's 4-week time period that we're talking about. So 1 week per card, kind of basically pretty much. I think the last one's 10 days instead of 7 days, but whatever. So yeah, let me know if you guys like this or if you like the one from before or you want something else. So hopefully I'll have more time soon to, do some more different kind of fun things. Okay, hopefully. All right. Messages for Pisces for April 20th through May 20th. Messages for water sign Pisces, twin fish, for April 20th through May 20th, Pisces. Messages for Pisces highest vibration, April 20th through May 20th, Pisces. Messages for Pisces, April 20th through May 20th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Messages for Pisces. All right, so yeah, we're just going to mix them all up here. Okay. Turn that off. All right. And just 1 card, and then the top and the bottom. This is going to be our confirmation deck. It's another tarot deck. Okay. Messages for water sign Pisces for April 20th through May 20th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know, Pisces? All right. And let me see, before I take the top and the bottom, how they want this card received, if they want it right side up or reverse. Okay. They want it reversed, and so that is fine. And then we have the top and the bottom. All right. So, yes, just put that there because we're going to move everything down anyway. And I'm going to remember to take the picture now before we get started, just in case. Okay, so this is Pisces. Yes, Pisces. All right. Take this off the charger. Sometimes I can't take very good pictures when it's on the charger. Okay. I think last time I cut off a little bit of one of the oracle cards. I mean, you could still see the name, but it wasn't like the full thing. So, yes. Okay, I will edit that later. What am I doing? All right. Back to what we were doing. All right. So, yes. So Pisces, like I said, we're going to do the first 4 cards here, and those are going to be the 4 weeks, okay, that we're talking about for this time period. So I know today is the April 30th, depending on when you're watching this, right? But this is when I'm filming it. So we're going to go back a little bit in time, and these are all rough estimates, right? But we're going to say that the first card was from April 20th to about April 26th. The second card is from April 27th to about May 3rd, where we are now when I'm filming. And then the third card is from about May 4th through May 10th as an example. And the last one be from April 27th through about, why did I say April 27th? Sorry. May 11th through about May 20th. Okay. Too many numbers in my head. I'm dyslexic, y'all. So, but sometimes Spirit will tell me different set of numbers. So anyway, like I said, I'll try to mention it when we're on each card, what the time frame may be, but it's a general reading. So of course it will be different for everybody. But yeah, so we're going to do, let's go ahead and call it your cards, and then we'll go in order here. And I'm just going to set this as a general timer in the background. All right, so Pisces, we have the 8 of Swords right side up, the Queen of Cups in reverse, the 8 of Staves or 8 of Wands right side up, and the Ace of Sacred Circles right side up. And then we'll talk about the other ones later. But we do have, pretty much only one major arcana, which is in your past position. We'll talk about that later. But as far as zodiac signs, right, that may be showing up here in your reading, we have a little bit of Gemini and Sagittarius energy here, Pisces. And then we have water signs, air signs, and earth. We have 3 earth cards over here. So that could be, right, Virgo. Why am I spacing out? Virgo, Capricorn. Why am I forgetting the other earth sign? Virgo, Capricorn. This is when I need the chat on because I'm going to be like, help me out. Taurus. Oh my God, duh. Oh my God, it's Taurus season. Yeah. So could be that you're dealing with perhaps more coffee, guys, right? Coffee. You could be dealing with a Gemini or Sagittarius, but pretty much, like I said, there is a little bit of air and earth and water stuff here. So you could be dealing with an air, an earth, or water sign, but we won't get too much into that because it'll take away time from the reading, okay? But it looks like here too, Pisces, that it's interesting. Some of the other signs were getting the 8 of Swords or the Queen of Cups, not always together like this, not in this placement, but sometimes they were in the past, or it's just interesting. And again, that could be more collective unconscious or something to do with the general astrology. So it's just interesting to note that since you're kind of the second to the last sign that I'm doing so far for this series. But let's go ahead and get back to you and get back to the reading if those things don't necessarily have to resonate for you, right? But when we start off with this 8 of Swords in the right side up position, this could be energy from the recent past, right? And what is recent, it will be different for everybody. It could be a couple of days ago, it could be a couple of months ago, years, etc. All right. But here we have this Japanese woman. She's fanning herself, and she's aware that she might be a little bit stressed out with the swords going in the downwards position. So this can be anxiety, worry, overthinking. And she also is aware that there is water next to her, right? So the water represents the emotions. So it could be in some way here, Pisces, either you yourself or the person you're dealing with or multiple people, excuse me, general environment situation in the recent past in some way or even currently is overwhelmed a little bit with the emotions, and it's kind of taking away the mental clarity in some way. So you could even just look at it as a little bit of an energetic blockage or some stagnant energy or gentle reminders, what I like to say. Okay. But, it's just one card out of some really great cards. So I wouldn't worry, too much about it. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be about you. It could be about another person or just an energy in general or the astrology, like I was mentioning. So where else? What else I was going to say? Where else? What else was I going to say here? I was trying to think that with the Eight of Swords, what it could, as far as the astrology, real quickly, I'm going to stop your timer because I took a little. It could be, it's not Cancer energy. It's probably more of for your own energy, Pisces, possibly. Maybe a little bit of Scorpio with that Eight of Swords. But, we did have yesterday, right? If we are talking about Scorpio, the beginning of the Pluto retrograde, right? So Pluto would be the ruler of Scorpio and kind of the half ruler too of you, Pisces, right? Since Jupiter is your other ruler. But there just could be, maybe that's why that card keeps coming up for some people. But let's keep moving forward. I do have, on my channel, if you're interested, I always try to do the astrology notes for this time period. And I go into more detail about what the Pluto retrograde means if you're not familiar, and even other stuff coming up all the way till May 20th. Okay. So anyway, back to your reading, Pisces. Now we're talking about the period that we're in now where I'm filming, right? So this, I said, could be around April 27th through May 3rd or so that week, right? And we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse position, and they did want it in the reverse position, but it doesn't necessarily, again, have to be a bad thing. For some people, there could be this, I don't even know if hesitancy is the right word, a little bit of still waiting to get all the information before perhaps wanting to level up, right? Because it's the Queen in reverse, okay? So leveling up can be in any stage of your life, okay, area of your life. So it could be with health, it could be with money, it could be with love, it could be with career, right, or all those things. Because she's in the reverse position, someone quite isn't ready to step into a leadership role, or if it's not a leadership role or a leveling up in some area, it could even just be their confidence is down a little bit here, or they're not wanting to quite grow up yet. Okay, it would be different for everybody, right? Since normally it's the Guinevere character, and she would be that kind of young, poetic kind of queen here. And also she wants things to be maybe not as traditional as her mother did them, right, as an example. But here, when it's in the reverse position, it could be that you're still trying to figure out here, Pisces. It doesn't necessarily have to be you, right? It could be the person you're dealing with or multiple people, general environment situation. But maybe it's quite not yet time to get out of a non-traditional role in some way or an energy, okay, with it being in the reverse position. So we'll get into, maybe why these two cards are first a little bit of like energetic blockage or a gentle warning. Okay, so this is where we'll talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your decks here, right? And this is energy from either the, oops, I'm throwing away with the music, sorry, commercials. It could either be energy from the recent past, whatever that means for you, or either further back in the past, okay, the way back past. All right, so anyway, what we have here on your first deck is the Fool, and the right side up position was on the top. And then we have the Six of Swords, and the reverse position was on the bottom here, Pisces. And we can talk about it with this Queen of Cups in reverse, but it's also, you know, with your first card, the Six of Swords, right side up. Okay, I just can't hold all of them up at the same time. Okay, so it looks like here, and that's that Gemini Scorpio energy, perhaps, that in the recent past or way back past, in the past in general, somebody or an energy was wanting to take a leap of faith, was wanting to perhaps even look foolish to others or even themselves by just trying something new, right? So when we talk about the Fool, it's the first card, in the tarot. So it's very youthful energy. It's the fresh start. It's the beginning of the tarot story or journey. And so it could be, for some in the past, there was this more openness to looking at ego, identity, what perhaps that means for you, the other person, vice versa, or everybody, right? But when they did that, it was actually really good. It was really beneficial, okay, to bring those things up, right? Like you are more than your ego, right? You're more than what society puts on you, all of those things. And that's why you see in this deck, there's the mirror behind the tarot reader. Okay, so that represents like looking within, okay? And this led to the Six of Swords in the reverse position, which is how you want to see this card, right? So now, even though it's upside down, technically the swords are right side up, okay? That's how you want to see them. Because in the past, way back past, somebody was still meditating just like the Eight of Swords. They both have water and they both have the swords going down, right? These Japanese people. And so in the past, somebody here knew that they were stressed out about something, or someone else was, or most people, etc., or general environment energy, but they were trying to meditate on it. Okay, so she's fanning herself, trying to calm her down. He actually has his eyes closed and he's meditating. They both have the water behind them, which represents the emotions overwhelming somebody's mental clarity to think clearly about something. But remember, in the past, this was in the reverse position. So this was embraced more easily, or more easily able to transmute that energy out here for someone. So they can have that fresh start energy in, because they perhaps were looking at ego and identity and embracing those challenges and what it means to think clearly as far as those things. Because we all have to do that, or we should, right, from time to time. But yeah, let's keep going forward, because you still, like I said, have really good cards. But let's also talk about what is on the top and the bottom of your other deck here. So here we have the Nine of Pentacles in the right side up position on the top of your deck, and then we have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position on the bottom of your deck here. Again, with that Queen of Cups in the reverse position. So also with the Queen of Cups, right, even with these two, I forgot to say that it's like somebody is not quite ready to level up in some way, area of their life, or take on more confidence, or come out of a more traditional youthful energy or role, because they're still trying to figure a couple of things out about themselves, okay? Because even if you're talking about leadership qualities, or even just confidence in general, right? If it's not necessarily a leadership role, you have to like examine yourself and do your inner work and your shadow work. And if you don't do that, then it's going to be harder to have more confidence and to help others and lead others, right? So with this Nine of Pentacles in the right side up position, and also the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position, it's like here in the past, in some way, somebody or some energy was really focused, and have a lot of resources around them, not only, let's say, money and abundance, whatever that means for you, because abundance can be more money, right? Whatever you want to manifest in your life, but also a supportive energy. So normally when you see the Nine of Pentacles, there's like a little scribe guy on the side, and he's taking notes, and he's like, hey, honey, what do you need from the store or whatever, right? And so that's that supportive energy. And also a 9 being close to 10, right? It can be about having these endings and new beginnings right around the corner. But here in the past, it could be that somebody or some energy here, Pisces, was maybe not necessarily playing well with others, with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position. Maybe not necessarily that the exact phrase, playing well with others, but it could be that the teamwork quality wasn't there, okay? It could also be, for some and not everybody, if you're talking about third party situations, right? Three people or three energies, again, not, working together, or if it was a negative third party situation, right? Because they're not all negative, some could be positive, then maybe it was in the past you or another person decided to leave that. If it was negative and you see it in the reverse position, then that would be a good thing, right? But if it was right side up, again, you would see that priest and the worker working together to create this church. Okay, so you got the builder, and then you got the architect, priest guy. I think it's architect, actually. It's architect. All right, anyway, but it was reversed. So, when you put all that together again with even just the Queen of Cups and just this together, these two cards together, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, if there's no teamwork energy, if people aren't appreciating each other, or there was a negative third party situation, then it's going to be again hard to get into that leadership quality and also reaffirm, because the cups in the tarot talk about our emotions. So she can't say yet, right? This is an example. We're not talking about gender, but just the woman in the card, that she can't say like, oh, I know what fulfills my cup. I know who pours it. I know what makes me emotionally happy, content, and fulfilled. I don't know that yet, or I can't communicate it yet in the way that I want to, because there's not enough teamwork, or because there's too many cooks in the kitchen, or, it could be a lot of different things, since it is a general reading. But it's just a little bit of stagnant energy, like I said, and it's nothing to worry, because your next three cards are really positive. Okay, so let's get into that. All right. Now your third card here, which we said could be around next week, right? So from like May 4th through May 10th or so, middle of next week, right? There is a fast communication coming in. It could be a good communication, it could be a bad communication, but it can be surprising for some, okay? Because we see the wands or the staves flying through the air, being thrown into the air really swiftly, and it's kind of like startled or upset the birds here, right? So it can bring reactions for some people of like flight or fight mode, something to do with somebody's instincts here, okay? And I feel like when I first said it could be a good message or a bad message or communication, but from the next card we have after that, I would like to think that it's a good communication here for you, Pisces. And again, it could be a communication that you're going to give to someone, or someone gives to you, right? Or if it's not necessarily a direct communication, it could also be an indirect communication from your spirit guides, guardian angels, the universe in general, of an opportunity perhaps. But I say that because, again, this fourth card is really positive. Okay, so now we're getting into the fourth card, and this is, and I forgot, oh no, it's still going. Okay, whatever, I'm just going to turn it off. Your fourth card is, so like the middle of May, right? So from about May 11th through May 20th here, can be, it's not exact. We have the Ace of Sacred Circles, and aces, right, are all about new beginnings, fresh start energy, okay? And this is also known as Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles or Ace of Sacred Circles is definitely could be about money and coins, abundance, wealth. But again, not just money, because abundance is more than money. It's whatever you want to manifest in your life, or they do, or vice versa, etc. Okay, but this is a really beautiful card. So it's like that communication comes in, and maybe it's a little shocking or surprising, but it leads to something really great here. Okay, and when that Ace of Sacred Circles comes in, it also can be about if there are talents that you have or someone else has being strengthened at this time as well, or even new talents, or strengthening old talents, right? But also there's this little tiny buffalo on the side here. I'm not sure if you can see him or her, but that represents the buffalo spirit, right? So in Native American culture, buffaloes are really important, but just in the size of the animal itself, it's like taking up space, having power, abundance, right? So if they have to eat the buffalo, they're going to use the whole buffalo and all of the stuff, not waste, right? But it's really about also the buffalo and kind of the bear, you could say, are great at hibernation and obviously withstanding the winters, the difficult winters, as a metaphor, right? So here we see the snow, and the buffalo is covered in snow, right? So how do you preserve your resources, whether it's financial, energy, health, love, creativity, all those things? How do you prepare for not just what is happening here and now, but in the future, right? But this is beautiful, however it may resonate for you here, Pisces. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into your confirmation card. So we only picked one for this time period, but it's going to confirm all these 4 cards we just talked about. And so what we have is the 10 of Swords in the reverse position. This is really nice and beautiful to see, okay? It's obviously the way you want to see this card, okay? Because it's about letting go of any anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in your head, air energy, right? Or if it's not necessarily about you, Pisces, the other person, multiple people, general environment, okay? But this is no fun, right? Everybody's killing each other, they're dead, they're exhausted, bleeding out. Okay, so we definitely want this reversed. Okay, so when it comes in here and confirms all these cards we just talked about, the main 4, even just going from your first card to this card, right? When the swords were still going down, when there was still anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in the head, being exhausted, hurt, right? So to go from that to this is growth in itself in the next coming 4 weeks, or even the last week or so that we already had. Okay, so that's really beautiful, and it clears the way too for, again, those things we talk about, the issues of a little bit of ego and identity, perhaps for some, or how do we work as a team? How do I embrace that? How do I make positive third party energies or scenarios if that's possible? Or how do I work alone to get my abundance flowing again and manifest whatever it is in my life? Okay, so really beautiful. But before you go, Pisces, let's also talk about your oracle card. And so this is from the Rumi or Remy Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild, and the one you got for this time is Passion for Purpose. It's card number 2, and we see this woman here draped in this really pretty pink, kind of abstract colors and energy. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to read real quickly. But yeah, so Rumi was a 13th century poet, and Persian poet. He's one of my favorites. And so Elena Fairchild, the author, took some of his poetry and put it together with this artist and made these really pretty cards. So we'll just read the poem and then a little short thing about the meditation, but not all of it. Okay, so if you find you like it, you can always try to look for it online and look it up online for more stuff. Okay, but here we go. So, Passion for Purpose. Okay. Love, like life, flows through the heart. Feel the thrill of the flow and say nothing. Do you yearn to find your way, to fulfill your divine destiny, to know the purpose of your presence within the sacred body of Mother Earth? Your heart is questing for deeper meaning. It desires certainty as to your sacred task for this lifetime. Your heart wants to know why you were born and for what purpose. You must know the answer to this question is love. I bring you your answer straight from the heart of the universe. Be wild within your passion. Do that which stirs your soul, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Especially then, for what is being truly alive if not a decision to be open instead of resistant, to be wild rather than comfortable, so that at any moment you will be ready for the invitation of the divine beloved to come closer. I call to you now for you that is beyond your mind, the you that the heart knows, the you that cannot deny life. To that you, I ask this question: what stirs the passions of your nature? Do that and be that. All right, so that's beautiful. That's a little poem. And here is the little meditation. You want to get into the energy of the card, right? So it says, sit with your hand at your belly and one hand at your heart and say the following aloud. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, brother of my soul, guardian of my heart, help me witness, receive, and express the divine depths of my passionate purpose. With merciful grace, help me know my life purpose and fulfill my unique divine destiny during this lifetime. May I be gifted with the ability to consciously recognize the guiding hand of love on my journey, that I may serve that same hand through passionate and purposeful existence, surrendered into the greater passionate purpose of the universal heart. So be it. All right, and it says, sit quietly and imagine that energy from the universal heart of love is flowing through the back of your heart now and circulating between your belly and your heart. Any excess or old energy flows out through the back of your heart as a beautiful energy of love streams into your being. Stay with this gentle process for as long as it feels right for you. You may feel emotion, sexual energy, or nothing at all. Whatever happens, it does not appear to happen, is perfect for you at this time. So trust it and let it be. All right. So that is beautiful, and always good message, regardless of the zodiac sign time. Regardless of your zodiac sign or time period. Okay, so yes, Pisces, let's go ahead and thank you for all your energy, of course. Let's go ahead and get into Aries here. So, yeah. Oh, wait, I did take a picture, right? Let me double check. I think I did. My phone not coming on because I have powder everywhere. Did I take a picture? Yes. Okay. So, excuse me, guys. We'll go ahead and shuffle all these cards and get ready for Aries here. So, I always kind of like stack them on the top and then I'll throw them in randomly and then I shuffle them. But it doesn't matter, right? Everybody does their stuff differently. And, oh yes, they're over here. I was like, where did my vocal cards go? Okay. Let's do sound bell too before we get started here to reground and get focused for Aries. Okay. So just be aware it does get a little loud if you're sensitive to that, but it helps, like I said, ground and do some healing. So if you want, you can take a breath in and out or just listen, whatever feels good. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Yeah, I was trying not to have my readings touch the bell because it sometimes messes up the sound. Okay. So yes, let's start with the Oracle cards here for Aries. And yes, I wanted to say, if you're just now tuning in after the live, when I put the timestamp, everybody is welcome, right? We all have Aries energy somewhere in our chart, regardless of if you are a sun sign Aries or rising Aries or have your moon in Aries. And this reading is timeless, right? So whenever you see this message, it's meant for you. It could be for some that it may resonate around 3 months in the past, 3 months in the future, 6 months, a year, etc. Yeah, we're also going to take a picture. Hopefully I won't forget, in case you want to see it later or more up close in detail after the live. If you want to do that later, you just have to click in the description box below and follow the instructions there, how to find it on my Facebook and all that. What else? I think that's it. Anyway, let's go ahead and shuffle, and if something else comes to me that I may have forgotten to say, I'll tell you guys. All right, so let's clear our energy and get some messages here for fire sign Aries. Okay, Aries the Ram. What does Aries need to see for the highest vibration for April 20th through May 20th? Messages for Aries. Okay. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries. Let's see. Messages for Aries. Oops. Here. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries. Messages for fire sign Aries the Ram. For one card for April 20th through May 20th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Highest vibration. Messages for Aries. All right. That was quick. Okay. Let's go ahead and shuffle these guys too. So one thing, I'm trying to think of things to talk about while we're shuffling too, is that if you are new or coming back, right, regardless of which one you are, everybody is welcome. I appreciate your energy. We're doing the readings, the series, a little bit differently. I'm going to try to keep it, once we get all the cards on the table, keep it to like 15 minutes. And we're going to be covering the 4-week time period, right? So from April 20th to May 20th. So we're going to have 4 cards that are, each card is going to represent a week's time period or so. And then we'll have an oracle card at the end and a confirmation card. Okay, so it'll be a little bit different. All right. Okay, messages from spirits for fire sign Aries, the Ram for April 20th. What do we need to see? Oh, that's why I was like, why isn't it folding? Messages for Aries, April 20th. Aries. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram, April 20th. Aries. Messages for Aries for April 20th through May 20th. What does Aries need to see? What does Aries need to know? Messages for Aries, fire sign Aries, for their highest vibration for April 20th through May 20th. 4 cards, please. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram, for April 20th through May 20th. For Aries, messages for Aries. Messages for Aries, fire sign Aries, the Ram, for April 20th through May 20th. What do they need to see for their highest vibration? Okay. Let me just confirm with Spirit. They want this card reversed. Okay, nope, they want it right side up. Okay, turn that down. All right, so then we're gonna take the top and the bottom from this deck, right? Just put this over here and push these up a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and get the confirmation card here too. So let's do some shuffling. My hands, messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram, for April 20th through Aries. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram. Oh, that was a horrible shuffle. Hold on. These cards are a little newer and don't bend as well. Okay. Aries, April 20th through May 20th, Aries. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram. For April 20th through May 20th, Aries. Messages for Aries, April 20th through May 20th for their highest vibration, Aries. Aries, Aries. Sorry. Okay. One card, please. Messages for Aries. Oh, really? Okay. Well, that was fast. Top and bottom. Let's not forget. These cards I've noticed since I got them. I think it's because I mainly use them as confirmation cards. They tend to, because I've already pulled the main energy and we're just confirming what we already pulled, they come out usually faster. But anyway, all right, so let's move everything down here. Okay, and then we'll take a picture real quick so I don't forget. Yes, Aries. Okay. Something like that. Okay, 1 second, guys. On the camera. Okay. All right, good. Okay, and I set this right? Yes, I did. Okay. Aries. All right, thank you for your patience. Let's get into your reading here. Set your little timer, general timer. All right, I'm going to try to stick to 15 minutes, but we'll see what happens. All right, so like I said earlier, we're doing each week or so as the first 4 cards here. Then we'll talk about the top and the bottom of each deck, confirmation card, and a little oracle card. All right, so for this first card, it can be energy from about April 20th through 26th. Second one, the time we're in now when I'm filming this, so April 27th through about May 3rd. The third one would be from about May 4th through May 10th or so. None of these are exact, just saying. And from about May 11th through May 20th for the last one, okay? So yes, let's go ahead and, oh, one more thing too, right? If you find this reading doesn't resonate, it could be about the person you're dealing with or multiple people, general environment, situation, collective unconscious, astrology. But that's why I always encourage everyone, I think I forgot to say this for the Pisces reading, but if you've seen me before, you know, that depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your rising sign, your moon sign, or your sun sign, okay? So we all have Aries somewhere in our chart too, so all are welcome, right? But always check your other placements because those things may resonate more or less, or just be all of it that you want to check out. So if you haven't found out your placements yet, you can do a free birth chart online, right? Even if you don't know your exact birth time, to find out some of your placements, okay? So anyway, back to it. Let's go ahead and call out your 4 cards here and then go from there. So we have the Tower in the right side up position, the 6 of Staves, also known as 6 of Wands, right side up, 10 of Swords, right side up, and the Prince of Swords, right side up. All right. Let's see here. So Aries, you actually have three major arcanas here. If we count also this past energy that we have at the bottom and your confirmation card. Okay, so we do have Scorpio energy with the Tower. We have the Magician, which could be Gemini or Sagittarius energy. And then we also have Leo, the Sun card came out. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio, Leo, Gemini, Sagittarius, or you have a lot of that in your chart, or they do, or it doesn't mean anything to you at all, or it could be the collective unconscious or something to do with the astrology. Okay, so let's get into it though. Yeah, so something, must have happened back here, Aries, right? And this is that first week, so April 20th through about the 26th. But when we say it's a general reading, right, it could be stuff from the recent past, and that's different for everybody. So it could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, even, right? But something happened here, whether it was a good change or a bad change, a small change or a big change, something was perhaps really shaken somebody to their foundation or their core in some way with the Tower card here when it's showing up. All right, so we do have the lightning hitting the top of the tower. And so that's the crown chakra. So again, whether it was a good change or a bad change, a big or a small change, right? It really is about seeing something in a new light, or your life in general in a new light. It could be about you, Aries, or another person or energy, right? But it is about spiritual downloads, revelations. Oh, I finally understand something, seeing all the pieces to the puzzle, let's say, okay? So to have the tower crumbling down, right? It's like, okay, then we're going back to the foundation and then we're going to build back up. So it's like getting that new information coming in. And it doesn't necessarily have to be fun, right? The tower doesn't really necessarily look like a fun time, but it's usually there for a reason, okay? And again, that is some of that Scorpio energy we were talking about too. So, with moving forward, right after that, right from the tower moment, and you could say that that's a little bit of stagnant energy that needs to be cleared, or slowing down of energy or energetic blockage. We then go to your second card, which is the Six of Staves or Six of Wands. So, whatever that moment that happens for you, it looks like in a short matter of days or week time period for some, that there is now a more supportive energy coming in, a celebratory energy, which is really nice, right? We see all these Egyptian people cheering on this guy in the chariot doing some kind of race or something, okay? So again, we have some fiery energy, right? So I remember we mentioned Leo too, and even Sagittarius and Aries, you are a fire sign, right? But we also have air energy here, we have water energy, and we do have one card of earth, okay? So you, again, doesn't necessarily have to mean anything, okay? But I'm trying to figure out when we're going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom here. We could talk about it with the tower, but I kind of moved on. So let's talk about it, with your third card, okay? Because this is also a little bit of an energetic blockage or stagnant energy. But again, it doesn't last long, because then even your fourth card is, much better. So just to say one more thing too, as far as the Six of Staves or Six of Wands, the second card, that was like the week that we're in now, to even, let's say for some, the first week of May, okay? But this is also from about May 4th through May 10th or so, right? Just as an example. But here is the Ten of Swords. Now it's right side up here for you, Aries, okay? So this can be a lot of worries or anxieties, being too much up in the head. It can also just be burnout or exhaustion mentally, okay? Because we see, and sorry, this is one of my oldest decks, actually, my first deck ever. But it is kind of wearing down some of the energy. But hopefully you can see that this is Japanese guy, right? And he's put all these samurai swords guy, put all the swords in this person who's dead on the ground, right? So that represents exhaustion, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that someone's going to die or anything like that. I would never tell anyone that, even if I did see it. So anyway, this is a lot of that air energy, right? So again, being too much up in the head, and it could be, of course, connected, if we go back to your first card, with the Tower card, right? Because it's like, okay, we got this shocking revelation, spiritual download. Now I finally understand something. And here it could have, even though there were some happy moments in between, more supportive energy in between, celebratory energy in between. It's about, how do I process that information even through my body and energetically and spiritually, so then I can not stay so much up in my crown chakra, not stay so much up in the top of the tower that's falling, but then come back to the earth, come back to um, the fire energy even, right? Okay, so let's kind of just talk about why it might be there with this past energy. Okay, so what we have here with the first deck is the Seven of Staves in reverse, or also known as Seven of Wands in reverse, and then we have the Queen of Staves in the right side up position, or Queen of Wands in the right side up position on the bottom of your deck. Okay, and we'll just talk about it in relation to the Ten of Swords right side up. So it looks like here, Aries, either you or someone around you or general energy was perhaps resisting some type of spiritual lesson or some type of karmic lesson from a past life or even this life, because they don't want to spiritually initiate into something yet. Okay. And this is energy from the past, right? So this could be a couple of days ago, it could be recent past, it could be a couple months, years, it could be further back, right? But even though you have that, trying to think of the right word, even though you have that energy of not wanting to take on or understand or process karmic lessons from the past or even this lifetime, or not ready to initiate into another spiritual level, or even if we're talking about it in terms of getting into more of the divine masculine and divine feminine energies that we all have inside of us, even though there was the resistance to that or hesitancy to that in the past, it did lead to someone getting their shit together, as we say, right? Because then we have the Queen of Staves or the Queen of Wands. So here she is very confident. She is a leader. She is royalty, right? And she is learning to master her emotions in a positive way with the Nile River behind her, right? The water being the emotion. So here she's like, I have a team that supports me. Other women help dress me, right? That's how they did it back in the day. And she has her crown and her scepter, right? Me too. I got my crown this time just for a little bit. But, she also has her eyes closed. And so I always like to use the example, yes, she could be meditating, right? Taking a moment, but also, and surely that's probably what she's doing, right? But also, if we're talking about in the wild, right? Because we see there's like a little, I don't know if it's a dog or a cat or coyote, but there's an animal in the background drinking from the Nile River. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that over here. So, in order for animals in the animal wild world out there, right? If they close their eyes, it's because they feel that they can take a moment to rest and they feel protected in some way. Because if a predator was to come right out of nowhere, then they have to quickly spring back into action. So the fact that this Queen of Staves in that energy from the past has her eyes closed, it also talks about there's like a protective energy there, okay? Or even they feel more comfortable or have confidence in themselves and helping others or being a leader, okay, or just themselves. So here, when we talk about this with the Ten of Swords, it could be Aries that when I said somebody or some energy was not wanting to process karmic lessons or lessons from the past, from this lifetime, last lifetime, many lifetimes, or they didn't want to necessarily get, or they weren't feeling ready to get to the divine feminine and divine masculine energy that we all have inside of us. Maybe it's just because in the past somebody was overthinking it. For some, right, with the Ten of Swords right side up, because that's anxiety, worry, overthinking. Maybe when we had that tower moment and we had the divine sorry, not divine. We had the spiritual downloads, maybe it was divine. We had the spiritual downloads, revelations, shocking information that changes the way you see something or someone else or multiple people, right? It's just something about this air energy that was a little bit of um, perhaps a blockage in the past to have that spiritual initiation. But just as like a quick foreshadowing, your fourth card is really good. So again, this energy doesn't last too long, okay? But real quickly, so I don't forget, let's also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck in relation to that Ten of Swords right side up. So here we have the Magician in the reverse position. And what do we have? Six of Pentacles in reverse, okay? So this is, again, energy from the past, recent past, or further back than that. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit of music here. And so here there could have been definitely someone was not feeling confident with the Magician in reverse. Somebody didn't feel like they had all the resources they needed to manifest whatever it is they want to manifest, okay, even if it was in the past. They could have also been a little bit, not for everybody, but a little bit greedy with something. It doesn't have to necessarily be money or pentacles, right? But there's a lack of charity or being humble energy. Because here, when this card is right side up, he's giving money. He doesn't have a lot of money. It's not 10 of Pentacles, but he's giving some of his 6 coins to people that need it more than him. So again, whether it's money or you're giving of your time, or your energy, or your knowledge to someone or to multiple people, what have you, it's in reverse. So it's a lack of doing that in the past here, Aries. And it could be because if you felt like you didn't have enough resources, maybe it's just an energetic thing, not necessarily money, hopefully not, right? Or hopefully not for energy either, energetically. But it's just a mindset, right? Just like the Ten of Swords, that can easily be changed, okay? Overthinking the way you manifest. You can manifest if you believe in yourself, you have the resources of others, right? She has every tool from the minor arcana on her table. So she's got the swords, the wands, the pentacles, and what did I leave out? Swords, wands, pentacles, and the cups. Oh, I forgot the cups there, right? So yeah, when this, they're both first. I was like, what am I doing here? When this Magician from the past in reverse and that 6 of Pentacles in reverse comes in with the 10 of Swords right side up in the future, current, present energies a little bit, it's just like if you want to start manifesting and you want to flip these things, all you have to do is work on the confidence, right? Whether it's you here, Aries, or someone else, or general environment situation. Work on having charity, paying it forward. The 6 of Pentacles is the pay it forward card. Again, whether it's money or your time or your energy to just help somebody else out actually makes you more abundant yourself, okay? But yeah, I would say that it's overall like a combination of being not taking in the spiritual lessons from the past in some way quite yet, right? You weren't doing it all the way in the past yet. You were still working on your confidence. You were still working on resting. You were working on getting rid of the anxiety, worry, overthinking, so you could manifest, so you could give back to others. And then here on your fourth card, right? And this could be by the middle of May for some, or even the end of May. This is the fourth card. So we said from about May 11th through May 20th for some. Here we have, just in these 2 cards, you can see the progress. From the 10 of Swords to now the Prince of Swords right side up. Yay, the sword is now right side up, Aries, right? So letting go of the anxiety, worry, overthinking, okay? He's got his eyes closed. He's still meditating, but he's balancing his emotions in a positive way with his crown chakra and his heart chakra open, right? Yes, right on the bell there. I love when spirit confirms that, right? But it is he's a prince, right? So he's not a king. He's open to learning new things. He's not set in his ways. He's meditating, right? He has the mental clarity finally. The mental clarity that maybe you didn't have from the first card, right? The Tower. But then at the end, you get the Prince of Swords. You get that mental clarity. Okay. So this is really beautiful. Even though there might have been a little bit of some challenging energy, it still looks like things will work out for the best in the long run. Okay, so let's talk about your confirmation card here real quickly. This is confirming all 4 cards we just talked about. And this is the one that came out really fast. If you saw me shuffling, the Sun, ta-da! And here's that Leo energy. Doesn't have to necessarily mean something to you as far as the Leo part, but this is the youthful energy, okay? This is this little kid here riding on the horse, galloping forward. So it's for momentum, it is progress, creativity, passion, the brightest card in the tarot, right? And we see usually sunflowers in the background. And if you saw the Queen of Wands, she didn't come out here in your reading. Wait, yes, she did, y'all. Sorry. Queen of Staves, as it's also known in this deck. In this deck, it's Egyptian style, so we don't see sunflowers, perhaps because they didn't grow in Egypt. But normally in other decks, when you see the Queen of Wands or Queen of Staves, it's about integrating the sunflower, which is just like the lightning kind of too, right? So spiritual awakening, spiritual downloads, revelations. I finally understand something, seeing something from a larger perspective to see all the pieces, right? It's coming together. So again, you can see the growth even in just like these 2 cards or several of the cards, okay? So yeah, so I would, keep on your way, Aries, and try to remain positive. And even if there's a couple moments where you're feeling a little overwhelmed or down, right, always can reach out to your support system or just take a moment to rest before going forward, right? The mind, body, spirit connection. All right. So real quickly before you go, because I know we're way over time, but that's all right. Here is your Rumi Oracle deck from Elena Fairchild, and he was a 13th century Persian poet, and she's taken some of his poetry with these really beautiful cards here. So I'm just going to look it up real quickly. So you got for this time period, or even beyond, card number 10, and it's the Celestial Rose of Ma. And yeah, it looks like a rose in the center, and it's really abstract, and there's like some little orbs of light. So it's very pretty. Okay, so we'll read the poem here real quickly, and then the short meditation, but not everything. So if you want and you like it, you can try to look it up online and see if you can find more, or even get the deck if you want, whatever. I don't say that because I don't get any money from saying that, but I just think it's cool. So anyway, okay, so yes, the Celestial Rose of Ma. The taste of bitterness becomes sweetness in love. The searching in the dark finds the light of faith revealed in love. Love transforms thistles into jasmine. Love layers heaven and gifts us with wings to soar into its mystery. Love transforms our every thought into a desire of the heart. O love, how divine is O love, how divine is your luring. Beauty flows from the unseen face. Your very nature is radiant with joy. You manifest vibrant hues in every flower. Your touch dazzles all creation. Every particle is attracted towards you, longing to unite and dwell within you. The Divine Mother offers me her rose, how rich that gift may be. I tear my flesh on its thorns and my blood flows. I curse myself for carelessness, and yet in my desire to grasp this gift, it happens again and again. Then I realize such is its scent, its beauty. How can I be tentatively in my approach? How can I be tentative in my approach? My senses are drenched in beauty, and I long to inhale the exquisite perfume, to reach the velvet dew of the petals, the soft and delicate under my touch, when soft and delicate under my touch. Perhaps I will be scrapped and I will bleed. Yet this is not enough to deter me, to prevent me from accepting this gift. The magnificence of the bloom renders the struggle to enjoy it as a worthy, noble, and essential pursuit. Of course, I understand something so precious must be protected. It must be allowed to live more than this to thrive. So those thorns are hooks that allow for growth for those that would bear the pain of the ascent to the rose's blooming heart. And those thorns are barbs that keep away those that would consume the creation without appreciating its worth and beauty. Yes, those thorns serve essential purpose. I cannot begrudge them, for I love the rose, and so I love what is necessary for her to be, so I love the thorns too. That's so pretty. I like it. Okay, so I don't know why I can't read sometimes, y'all, so appreciate understanding. Okay. So yes, if you want to get into the energy of this card, here's a little short meditation. So it says, place your hands in an open palmed, upward facing posture at the front of your chest as if it was open and ready to receive. So I think they mean like that, right? Okay, something like that. And then it says, say the following aloud. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, guide the spiritual gift of the Divine Mother, the blessing of this celestial rose of Ma into my open hands and open heart, that I may know myself to be a cherished, holy child of the universe, with my life unfolding according to sublime grace. Help me surrender whatever stands in the way of such fulfillment now. May I be blessed to release pain and be open to joy through merciful compassion. So be it. And then it says, close your hands in prayer at your heart and bow your head, right? So, okay, and that is the meditation and the energy for that card. So hopefully you guys got something from this, and always feel free to let me know if you like this new setup and anything else. But yes, thank you for your likes, for your energy, for your shares and your subscriptions. They're all free and great ways to support the channel, of course. And so if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to, all you have to do is click on, excuse me, the bell icon on the bottom right. And just make sure it's blue and it's active, and it'll notify you when I put out new readings and all that good stuff. So I just have to say that because some people, aren't used to YouTube or whatever. So yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. We'll come back in a day or so with some readings for Gemini. But again, if you want to find out more about the astrology, also feel free to check out the astrology notes for this time period that was already posted on my channel. But yeah, I think that's it. So enjoy this time period, guys, and thank you. And I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.